チャンネル登録いいねよろしくお願いします。
Please like and subscribe. Thank you.
He called me one night in the States and we talked for like an hour. And I had like the worst questions for him. I'm like, do you guys have like chicken over there? Like, what's it like? And Utah's like, man, I'll get you all the chicken you want. Just tell me, like, just come to Brex.
Welcome to another special episode of IKEMAX. We have a special guest. Recently, their team won a divisional championship. We have Rossiter. Ike, you want to bring him in?
Yeah, man, a fierce competitor, often undersized, but he's usually the hardest working dog in the fight, man. It's a pleasure to have you on, bro. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for that intro.
It's the truth, man. I've always respected you as a competitor, so it's really awesome to have you here face to face.
I appreciate it, man. Likewise.
And congratulations on that regular season championship.
Thank you. That was a tough one.
Yeah, we want to get into that. But before that, I kind of want to get into how you started basketball and your roots in New York and also playing college in New York. Can you give us a background?
Yeah, I'm from Staten Island, New York. It's part of New York City. I've been playing basketball my whole life. My dad played in college. My older brother played in college. So it's just kind of in our family. And I stayed in New York for college, went to Siena College in Albany, New York. Played there for 4 years, did a year in France, year in the D-League, and then I've been in Japan with Brex for the last 8.
And how was your experience at Siena?
I loved it. It was great. We won 3 championships there, got to the tournament 3 times. Great people, great coach, still real close with all my teammates from that time. A lot of us are still playing overseas, so we're still talking and spread out throughout the world.
But it's a smaller school, right? I was looking it up a little bit, like 3,000 students or so?
Yeah, it's probably like 4 right now, but when I was there, it's probably 3 to 35. Definitely smaller school, but yeah, real good vibe to it. All good people. Kind of one of those places where you knew everybody. You could always say hello to everyone, hang out with everybody. So it was a good place to be.
So being someone who's played against you for a lot of years, you're a really, really hard competitor. Do you kind of attribute that to your background and how you grew up, having like your dad and your brother both involved in basketball?
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, my brother's 2 years older than me. It was a bunch of one-on-ones that usually ended in fights, fist fights, tears. Mom would be a little worried, but dad liked it, like the fire. I don't think we ever finished an actual game to 11 because after like 6 points, someone would punch the other one or throw the ball and just ruin the game. But that really helped the way I played. And then in college, I was on a team that was older and pretty established. So the only way I was going to get on the court was to do all the little things and hustle and run and kind of earn coaches' trust that way.
Coming out of high school, did you choose to go to a smaller school? Did you have any offers from any bigger conferences or?
It was down to Siena and Providence. I didn't really have an idea in mind of like what I wanted to do. I just wanted to see the best fit. And then once I visited both schools, I really liked the Coach McCaffrey, who's at Iowa right now. And I liked all the Siena guys a lot. And I really didn't enjoy the vibe at Providence. And I just kind of knew it was an easy choice after the 2 visits.
And so coming out of college, you were player of the year as a senior, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you end up in France? What made you go that route?
Typical things, couple workouts with different teams. And then obviously nothing panned out with the NBA or anything like that. And then just kind of waited around for my agent to do his thing. And then I actually didn't sign until like the end of the summer and had a few offers, but wanted to wait for something better. And then the French offer was a good deal and just kind of went for it. That was my first year, so I didn't really know what to expect or how to react.
Yeah, because your situation's a little bit opposite of mine because when I came out of college, I went straight D-League, then overseas. That's why I asked you that question because it's kind of a unique way you did it.
Yeah. A lot of guys, like you're saying, a lot of guys will try the D-League first, kind of stay home for the year, get acclimated to the pro game, and then go. I wasn't against it, but I was just looking forward to kind of getting overseas and starting that path. And then wound up doing the D-League the next year.
So you went to France. How'd you get acclimated to that situation? Was that the first time you were living outside of America, or?
Yeah, I mean, if you play in France, Italy, Spain, it's more of the easier countries to kind of get yourself into as an overseas player. But it was like you said, my first time not being in the States. So there was definitely an adjustment. I was lucky enough to play with 2 other Americans that are real good guys. Jawan James, who went to JMU, was a vet. He really helped me out my first year and kind of explained like the game to me and looked after me off the court, took me out, kind of showed me the Euro lifestyle. And he's a big part of my first year to get comfortable.
Okay, so fast forward, the opportunity presents itself for you to come to Japan. What makes you decide to go that route?
Yuta Tabuse. My agent at the time actually coached him when he was with the Nuggets because, I had no idea about Japan. I didn't have any concept of like the lifestyle, the world over here. I didn't know how great it was. And I was kind of skeptical. I was going to go back overseas to Europe. And then Utah saw me play in the D-League and really, really liked my game and really wanted me to play. So he told my agent, he's like, I'll do whatever I need to do. I'll talk to him. I'll call him. I really want to just get to know him and try to tell him why he should come to Japan. So he called me one night in the States and we talked for like an hour. And I had like the worst questions for him. I'm like, do you guys have like chicken over there? Like, what's it like? And Utah's like, man, I'll get you all the chicken you want. Just tell me, like, just come to Brex. And I felt so good after that conversation and talking to him. And it was an easy choice after that.
I did not know that story. Wow.
Yeah, that's how me and Utah started out.
Okay, so was your first year in Japan and my first year the same year, or did you come the year before me? I think you were here before me.
I think I was before. This is my 8th year.
Okay, yeah, you were the year before me then.
Okay.
You joined Tochigi the inaugural year of the NBL, right? That was the first year of the NBL.
Yeah, I think because I wasn't here for the JBL for sure.
Right. So then you were there the second year.
Yeah, I was there the second year. I remember my first year here. I remember the first time I got ready to play against you, and they were like, oh, he's kind of undersized, but he's got a really hard motor. And I'm like, okay. And I remember we both had like 20 boards, and I'm like, how did this dude get 20 boards? He was everywhere, man.
I remember seeing you on film, and I was like, oh, I think he's kind of slow, so I'll be all right. But then I had to bang with you. And I was like, oh, my God, like, I can't do this. Because we also played with Tommy Brenton. So we were pretty undersmall to begin with. He was our 4, I was our 5. So we didn't really have a big guy like you to go down there and bang and do the dirty work.
Yeah, but he's tough, though, bro.
Yeah, exactly. He's kind of really like Draymond Green.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Draymond Green, yeah, that's a good comparison.
Play that.
Yeah, but that dynamic really worked out because you got it done together.
Yeah, we have I think it starts with Utah, and we play real team basketball, and he does all the little things himself. So it's hard to come into a team and cut corners or take shortcuts when you look at the time 33-year-old vet who's still diving on balls and doing all the little things. It's like, man, if he's doing that, I have to do that stuff.
Utah's a dog. Like, I remember playing against him. I'm just like, this guy is probably the best player in the league, but he's diving on for loose balls. I mean, crazy.
What's it like for you being your first year in Japan and having a guy like that as your teammate, because he's like a legend over here? What was it like for you?
At the beginning, I knew he's at the time, the only Japanese player playing the NBA. I knew all the stories. I knew everything. And my agent coached him, so he told me a lot about him. But I didn't really understand, like, how crazy it was in terms of, like, how much fans loved him, especially. I remember we were playing a game one time, and we were traveling, and he's very low-key, obviously. And Tommy, as a joke, was like, oh, Tabuse. And, like, 20 people looked, and Utah was like, what are you doing, man? And Tommy was like, I had no idea it was that serious. I'm sorry. Because he's like, all the fans were coming to talk to him and get his autograph, and we're just trying to move through the train station. So that was my first glimpse of, like, man, he's really like a star, like in the public eye as well. And then playing with him, man, he's taught me so much, just preparation and professionalism and how to take care of your body and how to kind of play the game mentally. He's done so much for my career.
See, it's a bit different for you because I feel like my veteran was JR. He really taught me a lot about just taking care of my body, how to be professional and all that. But he's an American, so we kind of share a similar background. It's interesting for you because you got it from him. So what's that like?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's different. It's the same, but like you're saying, it's different. I think it was an advantage because when I came, it was me and Tommy who were both first-year American players in Japan. So neither one of us really kind of knew what was going on or neither one could give advice on Japan. Utah lived in the States once with BYU Hawaii, played in the ABA, played in the D-League, a couple stints with NBA. So he's familiar with the States. But it was kind of just us, but I think that almost helped because then I got to really get the Japanese culture more and learn from him and see how he handles the media and see how he handles fans. His preparation, I mean, he's at practice every day, 2 hours before practice starts, doing his routine. And he's done that for 8 years straight.
Still doing
it.
Legend.
2 hours before, hour and a half, 2 hours after, every day.
Legend, man.
So Tochigi is kind of, I would say, like their fan base is just super passionate.
Yep.
But they're not the biggest city in Japan, right? They're kind of like a smaller city. How was that like when you first moved there? And were you kind of, surprised to where you landed? I mean, because it's not Tokyo, it's not Osaka, but the image that Americans have of Japan is like, big city lights and stuff. So how was that like?
Yeah, it was definitely different. Where I'm from in Staten Island, it's a little more suburban. So it's actually, Staten Island's definitely busier, but it's a little similar to the Utsunomiya area of Tochigi. When I was driving in on the bus, when I first got here, there's a lot of farms and a lot of, rice fields. And I was like, man, where am I? What's going on here? Then you get to Utsunomiya and it's a little better. But it's like you said, it's a good city. It's good people. And at the end of the day, we're only 50 minutes Shinkansen to Tokyo Station. So it's not far when we do want to get to Tokyo and get some American food and just kind of get into that busier lifestyle for a little bit. And I think that's also helps us with our fans where we're not in Tokyo. So there's not as many distractions for the rest of the city. So when Brex plays, it's a real big deal.
Do you think that helped you embrace the culture? Because a lot of imports come here and they don't really embrace the culture to the level like a guy like you have or a guy like I have that's been here for a really long time. Do you think being there and being around Utah helped you with that?
Yeah, for sure. I think, I think no matter how old you get or how long you've been over here, you always enjoy once in a while to get some American food or something in Tokyo. But when it's not an option like it was for us early on, like you're saying, you have to just kind of fully commit to the Japanese style and the Japanese culture and being in the smaller city where people recognize you and you just kind of want to fit in and make sure you're going to stand out. So you don't want to do anything wrong or mess up. And that's like a kind of a concern. So it's makes you have to acclimate to the city and the culture.
Can you pinpoint like one aspect of the Japanese culture that you've adopted so far?
I don't get it, especially from New York, but you guys just will not cross the street unless you have the arrow. And I remember my first day here, 8 years ago, I couldn't sleep, obviously. So it's like 4:30 in the morning. And I'm like, let me just go outside and go for a walk and kind of see where I live. So it's probably like 6:30 at this point. So all the kids are going to school and people are going to work. To cross the street, the light's red, so you can't cross. But there's not a car in sight. You couldn't even hear a car. I'm about to go, but I see the person next to me not moving. And I was like, all right, I don't want to be that guy and come over here and just break the rules. And we're just sitting there and a car doesn't go by for a minute and a half, but he would not cross the street. So I was like, I guess I'm not crossing the street. Now it's just like built into me where I just don't do it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can't be that guy.
I don't want to, man. I gotta try to hide with everyone else.
So you've been here almost close to a decade now, and you've decided to stay with the Brex for this long. What was got into your decision in staying this long?
I mean, they take really good care of me. The club, the fans, management, and I love my teammates. There's a few guys that have been here my whole time. Endo, Nabe, Yuta. I've known Jeff the whole time from playing against him to him coming on the team. And then we've kind of added some new faces slowly over the years. But they take such good care of us, and it's such a good culture and club to be in. And I think if you're overseas, one of the things you want is stability, whether it's in one country or one team. And if you're able to find that, I think it's pretty lucky. So there's no reason to kind of see if the grass is greener on the other side. If you're happy, I think you should just be where you want to be.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really admired about you is you've never chased the situation or chased this or chased that. You've always built something where you were. And I think that's really, really important for guys who are just now coming into Japan or guys who have been overseas to really understand you don't have to chase this or chase that. You can build something special where you are. And I think you're a great testament to that.
Yeah, I think, like you're saying, there's been a lot of new faces in the league the past couple of years. And you always play against guys, and they're like, "Oh, you're so lucky you're on a good team." It's like, well, I committed to this 8 years ago and made relationships with the teammates and built that trust and built that playing style. I wasn't just here looking for the next team or the next paycheck. I really enjoyed my time at Brex from day one, and I knew we had a lot of talent and could eventually be a championship team. So I think, like you're saying, guys need to be a little more patient and understand that you can build something. But if you're just worried about what's my next team or what's my next situation, it's never going to happen.
For sure. Okay, so fast forward to the naturalization process. What was that like for you?
It was tough. A lot of studying, a lot of too much kanji. I talked to JR a little bit about everything, and he helped me out and gave me some advice for different things. But it was a lot of early mornings of waking up early and just literally writing hiragana, writing katakana, flip cards for kanji, do that for 2 hours, go to the gym, work out, go to practice, come home, study before dinner, have dinner, study again, meet with my translator on the team, and just go get coffee and try to talk and write. So I felt like it was more work than I did ever in school, put it that way.
For sure, but it takes a full commitment though, right?
Oh yeah, you can't just say like, I'll do an hour today and then skip a couple days. I mean, I was doing it every single day, where honestly I was here in the summer working out, but I was still studying. My hand I couldn't shoot because I would just write katakana and hiragana all day to try to get the repetition of learning the characters and learning everything. I'd literally write thousands of characters a day, and then I'd go to work out after that. I was like, man, like my hand is sore. Like, I really can't shoot.
Wow. Okay, but Ryan, my next question for you is, like, bro, like we played together for a long time. You won championships, you won MVPs, All-Star, you've done it all. What keeps you motivated at this point in your career?
Honestly, I like the game. Like, I don't want to make some answer that sounds like it's too thoughtful, but I just enjoy the game, and I enjoy winning, and I enjoy watching my teammates succeed. I think this year especially, I personally, like statistically, I've taken a step back. And that's because we added LJ, we added Josh, and this is the first year we've had a wing player on our team, and we knew he's going to be a scorer. We knew he's going to be a guy that's going to take shots. Josh is very active. He's going to run, seal. He's going to get shots. And then you still have Endo, Mako, Kosuke, Jeff. So my attitude going in this year especially was kind of like, what could be more selfish than trying to worry about keeping my stats up and then costing us games? All I want to do is win. And I think watching like Jimmy Butler in the bubble last year, one game he'd have 6 points, but they'd win by 20, and he'd impact the game in a different way with assist or defense. And that was kind of my attitude coming in, because I knew the talent we would have this year, that if everyone's playing well and everyone's confident, we're going to be real tough. And I don't mind being the guy that some nights takes 4 shots, or some nights I need to take 15 or 20. I don't need the balance. It's just whatever on that given night I'm going to do. And it just, however we need to win, we win. And that's kind of what motivates me.
I've noticed this year in watching some of you guys' games that you've become the defensive anchor for that team. Like, your defense is really what's starting to set that team apart from other teams. Is that something that you've really bought into over the past couple of years?
Yeah, I think especially playing with Jeff, it allows us to do a lot of switching, and we'll do a lot of 1-4 switches or even 1-5. And Jeff's such a good defender on the ball with his just low center, his long arms, and obviously, he's a freak. He's so strong. I don't have his strength or his athleticism, but I really take a lot of pride in being able to switch onto other teams' guards and not have it be hey, I need help, I'm on their guard. It's like, I'm good. You guys guard your man. I'll take him one-on-one and force him into a tough shot or try to, stop him. And I kind of enjoy that challenge.
What do you think has made Tochigi or the Brex such a successful organization? Because it seems like every year your team is like super deep at every position. Not only that, you guys had really good veteran players like it was Hiyajima, and also identifying good talent like Kai Taves. Like, what do you think the secret is, without like revealing anything crazy about the organization? But what makes
give away the secret? No, but I think we have good people in the organization, and I know it sounds kind of cliche, but that's really it. We go into the office, we know all the office workers. They know us. We have a lot of fun. We joke with like our media guy. We joke with our trainers. We joke with our coaches. So, even our GM is a really good guy, and I was terrified of him my first year here. But now he's a friend, and he's a funny guy, and that's kind of the culture we have, where we work really hard and we get after it. But we have a ton of fun while we're doing it, before the game, after the game, even during the game. If you ever look at our bench, we're having so much fun out there and just enjoying each other.
All right, so during your time here, you played against a lot of good talent. I want to know which Japanese player, has impressed you the most so far?
Japanese player.
He's played with some studs, man.
I know. Play with or against?
Either. Your choice.
I mean, we'll just throw Utah out of the conversation because that would be my answer.
Yeah.
But I play with him, so it's not as fun to pick. I still do. I was always such a fan of Mako's game when we would play you guys. Mm-hmm. He was so good. He is so good in that pick and roll where he kind of goes so slow, but he's still moving forward. And is he going to drop it off? Is he going to shoot his floater? All right, he's going to drop it off. I go. Then he pulls it back and takes the layup. He's so tough in the pick and roll.
His patience is on another level, bro.
It's so hard to guard because of the big. He just kind of puts you in jail. And you're like, all right, oh, no, he's not attacking. And then you go back to your big man. Then he just steps through and takes the layup. Then the next time you help, and then he kicks it to the big man. And it's like, come on, what are we doing, man? And then you have like Kosuke Kanemaru sitting in the corner. You can't leave him at all. He's another guy, man. Like I try to describe his shooting to people back home. And it's like, he's just a robot. Like I've never seen anything like it where
they don't believe
it. Flare. It just, as long as he gets it off, it's a swoosh every time.
Sure. All right, so me and you both have played with Hiyajima, and so give us one funny off the court story about that dude, because I have a ton of them.
I have a million. I'll give you one from today. Me and him are lifting at Gold's Gym today. I get there, he's already there. I walk in, we say what's up, we're talking. I'm working out. I see him in the mirror, kind of like checking his pockets, and he has his phone in his hand. So I just guess. I'm like, did you lose your key to the locker room? And he's like, give me my key. And I'm like, Mako, I've been over here the whole time. I don't have your key. And he's like, come on, man. Like, why are you doing this? Just give me the key. Give me the key. This went on for like 30 minutes in between like sets and workouts. And I'm like, told him a million times, like, Mako, I swear I don't have your key, man. I don't have your key. Why are you doing this? Just give me the key. After 30 minutes, he finally realizes he put it down and it fell into another person's bag. And then he was able to get it. But for 30 minutes, it was only me and him. So it wasn't like the team was there to like laugh and it was like a big inside joke. I'm like, Mako, why would I just steal your key if it's only me? It's not fun to do that if like no one else is in on the joke. But like, that's just Mako. Like, as you know, like that's him perfectly. Like loses his key, doesn't know what to do, just sits there for 30 minutes.
That's exactly him, bro. I remember being at Aishin. We would get done with practice. I'd come in the gym. He'd be trying my shoes on, have my jersey on. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, come on, man.
He's a guy that because he's so quiet on the court, but before I played him, and then before I played with him, I had such a different like idea of who he was as a person and like off the court. Then you get to meet him, and you're like, oh my god, he's such a like a kid. He's so funny and just like goofy. It's just such a different like idea you have when you see him on the court than you see him off the court, like you're saying.
All right, so the season is pretty soon going into the playoffs. What do you see the prospects of your team winning the championship, and what do you think you guys can improve on to get there?
I mean, I feel good. I think, like we were saying before, the league kind of used to be there was 3 or 4 teams that could win it. So it was almost like you had a bye in the first round, and then you kind of figured it out. I think those days are gone with the B-League. The talent, Japanese talent, import talent is just there now where it's like it doesn't matter who you play in the first round. It's going to be a game. It's going to be a series. So I think the important thing is that we have to know that, and not just because we won the East, we think we're just going to walk into the championship or the semis. So I think it's really just a mental focus with our team. We'll have some games where we win by 30 on Saturday, and then Sunday we're in a 5-point game with 2 minutes left. And it's like we just need that consistency and that mental focus.
For sure. All right, you want to do top 5?
Well, I want to get into something personal about Ryan. I saw that you have a Japanese-inspired tattoo. Can you explain that for us?
I do. It's hard to show. It says Ima Koko. I was reading a Japanese book called Ikigai, and I never had a tattoo before. I always kind of wanted one, but I didn't know what I wanted to get. And I didn't want to get something just to get it. I wanted to get something that's a meaning to me. And I read in the book, it was just, this is a poem by Mitsuo Aida. It literally just means now here. And it's just like a reminder to live in the moment, good and bad. It's not always going to be good. So when it's bad, just kind of enjoy that at least you're having bad times and it will be better. And then I was pretty sure I was going to get the tattoo, and I did some research on Mitsuo, and he's actually from Toshigi and was born here. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a sign. Like, now I definitely have to do it. So I got it in the summer, and my team and GM and I actually thought it was a joke when I put a picture on Instagram, and I was like, no, it's real. It's a real tattoo, and they all loved it, and the fans love it. So it's good.
That's awesome, bro.
All right, we're gonna get into the Mount Rushmore section of the podcast. It's gonna be top 4 of whatever topic we throw at you. Let's go top 4 foods. Japanese foods.
Japanese foods?
Yeah, let's go Japanese. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh man. So like I don't like saying like steak because it's obviously not just the Japanese food, but like the real like Wagyu kind of steak is so good. So like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
I'll count that. I actually love the I forgot the Japanese word, the purple sweet potatoes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so you're talking about like just yakiimo?
Yeah.
Yeah, the baked one.
Yeah. Like I love those. I mean, Utsunomiya is famous for gyoza, so I guess I have to say that, right? Or else they might not have me back.
Strawberries,
anymore.
Right?
Strawberries. Yeah, we actually get strawberries from the sponsor a lot, and they're really, really good. So
I need you to send me some of those.
What'd you say?
I need you to send some over. My kids love strawberries.
All right, I got you. Yeah, we have a strawberry sponsor. So
Can you give us one more?
That's my 4. No, you said 4, man.
Well, I threw the strawberries. I threw you the strawberries.
So you get the assist, but I get the bucket. I'm going to take it as 4.
All right. So we want to wrap things up to be meaningful at the time. Is there anything that you kind of want to share with the listeners, and I guess throw in your social media and where the fans can reach you?
No, I mean, I got nothing really. Just focusing on the rest of the season, stay healthy, get ready for the playoffs. I do really like this. I think it's real cool to kind of get the players on and let the fans get a better background and idea who they are. There's not too much of that out here right now. So I think it's really good, and just, you know, I'm happy to help in any way. But Instagram, Ryan Rossiter, and that's really all I got going on, man.
Yeah, that was the purpose of this. We really wanted to give guys who are good character guys that have been in Japan a long time a real opportunity to connect with the fans on a level that we don't really get out here. So I feel like it was a unique thing to do, and I really appreciate you yourself, man. You're a huge player here for taking the time and really sitting down with us.
I appreciate it, man. Honestly, anything you guys need. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I love the concept. I love to give the fans the peek off the court and kind of get to know the person, not just the player.
Man, I miss ducking you in, bro.
I don't miss that at all. Post up KR, and then you just sit on the weak side, and as I'm looking to help, I just get hit with a shoulder and you get a layup, so I don't miss that.
All right, thanks so much, Ryan. Hope to do this again, maybe sometime, maybe in the off season. Yeah, thanks for coming on.
For sure. Sounds good, man. Let me know.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Once again, everyone, this has been the IKEMAX podcast. Ryan, thank you for being here. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the future.